So in this video, I am showing you how to create a peppermint popping toenail design look, okay? So first thing that I'm going to do is shape my nails, and I just use the any type of nail clipper. So the nail clipper I used was going to be coming from the brand Forenio, and it is a 3 size nail clipper set with a file. So I used this to make sure that I gave myself like a little nail prep. And once I shaped my nails and I filed my nails down a little bit to get it to the shape that I want before I apply the dehydrator bond as well as the primer for the acrylic, I make sure that everything is shaped as possible for the nail look to come together properly. So once I get it shaped how I want, I go in with the Mark Art drill, and I use the Mark Art drill bits that will, everything that I am mentioning will be in the description box below. And with this, this is not included in the drill itself. I bought this after the fact because I like the designs that was on it. But yeah, I file the moisturized or the shiny part of my nail bed off, because that is what will prevent the application process being efficient. And so once I get that off, then I will brush the excess nail dust off. But before I do that, I go ahead and push down my cuticle. I was supposed to do this first, but I end up doing it after the fact. And then I go back into with the drill bit, and I file that down a little bit to make sure that everything is going to go as planned. So like I said before, I do go ahead and take the excess nail dust off with a nail brush that I use. And after that, I come in with the Young Nails Protein Bond. It is a nail prep plus a protein solution to make sure that when I do the process of this application with the acrylic, it will not harm my nails, as well as coming in with the Mia Secret Professional Nail Prep pH Balance Dehydrator and Extra Bond Acid Free Primer. Both of these I had got in a dual set, and the protein, the Young Nails protein solution was something separate. But both of them, the Young Nail and the Mia Secret primer, is both of these are nail prep primers, and they help with the bond. But I do use both of these just to have the extra security for the acrylic. So when I go in with the acrylic that I have on deck, and it will be the WuBeFine Acrylic Nail Powder in the color pink. And with this, it was to give the color a more of a realistic color of my nails. So, well, my nail bed. And so when I did this, it's a nice product to use, especially starting off. It did not run. It did not dry too quick. So for me, being a beginner and a self-taught nail tech, I appreciate this product being my first real experience with acrylic applications. So with this, I go ahead with a small amount of acrylic on the nail brush, and I just place it on my nail bed and I shape it. The main thing is making sure that you shape it prior to letting it dry. That way when it does dry, you do not have to worry about trying to shape it with the drill, because you do go back in for the cleaning everything up So the whole process when it comes to the whole application and the shaping is to make sure that you don't have to use too much product and you don't have to waste too much product. Y'all ready? Check me out. Thinking about what I should have done to you. Should have never got in my feelings. Should have took you solo with Missy. Boy, you had me up real bad. Straight tripping must be something that I'm missing. I did right by you, so why am I tripping? Playing you like a should have been my mission. Had you real up when I now you can't find no other. Would have been real sad with your hoe calling me mother. You wasted my time. I here trying to find another real down the ride like one. Quick to grab the strap, hit the map, do or die. You wasted your time. You when you wouldn't let go of your pride. You know I'm that real pressure. Can't no other measure to this little glimpse of heaven, pure treasure. Yeah, okay. So when doing the application process, you want to continue to use the monomer, which is the liquid part. There's a powder at the bottom and then it's a liquid, and you use that liquid to shape the nail, the acrylic, because if you do it without the brush, without the monomer, it kind of brushes off the acrylic and messes up the shape. But with the monomer, it allows you to control the acrylic while it is drying at the same time, and shaping it properly is the key to the whole understanding the assignment. So now I am on my ring toe, and like I said before, you just use little by little because you're a beginner or whoever's just watching just to watch. I use little by little to make sure I don't use too much, because the very first time that I did this process, I used too much and I used clear and I did not know what I was doing. So I couldn't see where I was going with the acrylic on my toes. So now, because I have a more better understanding as to what I'm doing, I just go bit by bit. And everybody's techniques are different, and you just basically do what's best for you. And that's what I'm doing for this look. So I use the sharp end of the cuticle pusher to cut any excess acrylic off at the top, to make sure that there's a crisp look at the top and it's not too long. So I don't have to worry about any of the extra acrylic staying on my nail brush. And that's another reason why you continue to dip the brush in the monomer, to make sure that there is not any excess acrylic on your brush while you are sculpting the nail. So for me, how I do my application process for my beads is the bigger the toe or the bigger the nail, the bigger the bead. And I say that because you don't want a big bead on your pinky toe. Like you would want a big bead for the application on your big toe. So with that being said, I go in the middle of my toe first, and then I go around the edges to shape it, and that helps me gain the most control over the acrylic and the shaping of my toe nail for the look that I'm going for. Okay, so I wanted to zoom in on my big toe so you can see what I am doing. Yeah, I had already did the middle bead. I started on it already, but I felt like it'll be better for you to get a closer look on my big toe since it is the biggest, and you can get a better viewpoint as to what I'm doing shape-wise and everything. So what I am doing now is just working my way from the bottom to the top of my nail bed to make sure that my sides are crisp and it's not too thick. I don't want to have my nails too thick because that's going to be more that I will have to file down versus making sure that everything is shaped to my liking prior to without having too much on there. So that's less work for me. So like I said before, you want to make sure that you have monomer on your brush to make sure that everything is coming off or is gliding and shaping and sculpting the best way that it can. And for the top, I just use small beads and go as small as possible, little by little when it comes to my top part, making sure that even though I have done a decent amount of application beads prior to, I still want to make sure that it looks as neat as possible, as crisp as possible, and as thin as possible, and as real as possible. So what I'm doing now is, since I had already got my right side to look how I want, I'm working on my left, and I'm trying to blend in the acrylic that I already have with the acrylic that I just put on, and just laying it down and sharpening the straightening up the top part while I am still making sure that it is flat as possible. This is one of my favorite beads, so I just gotta speak. I was that bitch. I gave you everything, even when I ain't had shit. Damn, baby, what the really was going on with everything in your mind? Damn, baby, I gave you my love. I gave you my time at the drop of a dime. You knew what the was going on. I held you at the top of the throne, baby. I just held you like no other could, but you over here fucking up everything that I stood for. You everything that you had going on. Damn, baby, I don't ever wanna let go, but I had to sit here and just let this shit right on this motherfucking song. God damn, baby, I really wanted you in my life, but I had to think twice about that shit right now. Ooh, that shit don't make no sense the way you had me feeling like I was your then you had to. If there is any advice that I would give to any beginner, self-taught nail techs, I would suggest that you do not try to practice with clear gel, not clear gel, but clear acrylic. And I say this because with the clear acrylic, it's obviously clear, and it's just like playing with yourself because you don't really see what you're doing. You're just really just playing with water is what it seems like, because you can't see where you're applying the acrylic every time because it's clear, and when it's wet it's a whole lot harder to see versus when it's dry. So I would suggest trying like a real extreme color so you can see how to shape things better and have a better understanding as to how you want to do your applications and your shaping, to help you. Everybody's different, everybody's techniques evolve differently, and so everything is really just on you and what works best for you. But my suggestion is, yeah, just try a different color than clear. Since I'm doing the same thing on my other toe, I'm just going to cut the video so you don't have to see the same thing twice. If you want me to actually start having both of my toes being shown and the process for both of them, just let me know down in the comments and I'll do so. I meant feet. My bad. Okay, so since I have my acrylic on both of my feet, I'm going in now just to shape a little bit more to make it more defined and make sure that my surface of my acrylic is evenly distributed and it looks as flat as possible without compromising the integrity of the acrylic. I use the same bit as prior, and because it works the best for me, and I end up switching it to a smaller bit later that's round at the top versus being very sharp, because you can cut yourself if you have it angled wrong, which I end up doing on this toe actually, but you can't really see it. But yeah, make sure that you angle it not diagonal, but you angle it horizontal to make sure that you do not cut yourself, because it may not hurt then when you're doing it, but you are using chemicals and it will burn when you're applying any gel polish, any top coats, any other stuff when you are finished filing your nails. So just keep that in mind when you are filing. Now listen, baby, I need you to stop playing and just embrace it. Love all the making we doing with this paper. Yeah, baby, you know what I'm saying. I ain't got time to play it. I ain't got time to fake it when it comes to everything that I'm doing. You know I get right into it. I can't ever just lose it, cause I know that I just gotta go to the top. Every time you know I'm on this shit and I can't flop. Yeah, you know I can't stop, because the way he want me to do my little thing, you know I'ma always say I'm blessed and never ashamed. So this is what it looks like when I am done with the filing process. I used the brush that I got from Amazon, but they do not have it anymore, so you can just get it from Dollar Tree. I didn't really know what I wanted to do for my nail design. I tried something at first, but then I didn't like it, so I went ahead and cut that out. So now I am just deciding to do something simple, because you work with what you got and what you know. And I don't know that much about nail designs, so I am trying the French tips for the first time in this video. So with the French tips, I just worked around the top part of my nail, and I took my time around the loop. I'm gonna say that's really probably the wrong terminology for it, but the curved part of the nail, and I made sure I used not too much polish on it to make sure that it looks as neat as possible without having to wipe everything off like you see in the first attempt of doing the French tip. So now, once I kind of had an idea as to how I'm going to do my big toe, I just painted my whole toe red and went in with a small detailing brush and worked my way around with a bit of a swoop. And I went back in after I cured it for 2 rounds of 60 seconds, so it'll be 120 seconds in total. I came back in with the red gel polish, and I went back at the corners where you see the sharp parts of the red, and I cleaned it up a little bit to ensure that you see more of a swirl effect for my peppermint look for my nail. And I cured that for 120 seconds as well. Doing my own nails teaches me, like, honestly, it's okay to mess up. And that goes for everything in life. As you can see, some of the polish done came off my toe, and it's like on my nail, on my actual toe instead of on my toenail, which is fine. You just gotta learn how to work around what you have, and what you do, and make the necessary adjustments. And that's just life, period. It's okay. It is a-okay. Just do not dwell in the mistakes that you make. Learn from them so you do not have to go through them again. And that's what I did in this video. So after I finish the French tips and my big toes, I go in with the rhinestone glue, and I put this on my middle toe, the whole toe, because I plan on covering my whole toe with red rhinestones. All of these products will be in the description box in chronological order. And so I go ahead and I organize them row by row, starting on my right all the way down to my left, well, over to my left, and I work my way from the top to the bottom, making sure that they are all lined up appropriately with each other, row by row. After I do this, I go back in with the rhinestone glue, and I put one on my big toe in the middle where the white part is that don't come all the way together, and then I put it on the middle bottom part of my other toes where I have my French tips. And this is going to be after I put the top coat on, which will be the shiny instead of the matte top coat from Madonna's. I think I pronounced that wrong, but it will be in the description box. And yeah, I just do that to make sure that everything looks up to par. And after the completion of the visual aid, I will come back in with the finished results. I really hope you enjoyed this video and the instructions that I gave for the tutorial to accomplish this look. I really hope that everything that I said in this video was helpful, and that you come away with something that is beneficial for you, whether it's just a good vibe coming from the video, good instructions coming from the video, or just a good look coming from the video. And all in all, I really hope that something that you gained was impactful and motivational. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and always and forever, be blessed.